Well, I have a Independence Day quiz for you this morning. My first question is, what is red, white, and blue and grows? Uncle Spam. Hey, I took these jokes from somebody else. Huh? Where did George Washington buy his hatchet? At the chopping mall. Now, you should get this one. What's Bessie Ross's favorite sport? Flag football. Here's the last one, and you're going, thank God. What did the American colonists thirst for? Lib or tea? And it ended up being liberty, which is what I really want to talk about today, the thirst for liberty, the evolution of liberty, the solution of liberty. You see, liberty is the heart and the passion for transformative spirit moving in and through us, not only as a country, but as a world, not only as a world, but as an individual, where we have that opportunity to feel the power of spirit. It gives us time to connect with that vital spirit and to further it with our efforts, and a time to take stock in it and connect with that vital spirit and our own efforts to further it in our lives and the lives of others. That's what liberty is all about. Transformation, the transformative opportunity to become all that I am supposed to become, all that I am created to become, and to share that with each and every person. And yes, unity is all about empowering the spiritual truth in each individual, the spiritual greatness within each and every man. Like the founders of our country, who were about empowering the spiritual endowment and greatness inherent in every individual, and part of that journey is the quest for freedom and equality. In the day that it was freedom, in that day, what they were looking for was freedom of religion, that states could not demand what faith or what religion you followed. In that day, they were looking for freedom from taxation. In that day, they were looking for taxation with representation. And in that day, they were looking for an opportunity for equality and justice for all. As we know, Thomas Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence. And in it, he said, "In the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands with which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them. A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation." I'm certainly not calling for separation today, but I do think this is a time to take stock, to remember who and what we are, and to remember that we are impelled, if you would, to continue to move forward with the call of liberty, to continue to have that passion and to recognize in each and every person that divine right, the fact that they are divine, that they are spiritual beings having this spiritual experience in this human condition. And it's in the human condition that we have the opportunity to relate with one another, to work with one another, to grow together, and to mature spiritually. He also said, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." I don't think, and no disrespect to Thomas Jefferson, but I don't think Thomas Jefferson really knew and understood the depth of what he was saying and writing. Not to take anything away from him, but most people think that what he was talking about was that every person who was white American, a landowner, were the people that had the inalienable rights. That's what he was limited to. He had to be, from the standpoint of the environment and the circumstances of that day and time, as he thought. But what has happened, he wrote something that's so powerful, that's so beautiful, that's so magnificent, that it continues to grow what America is becoming and will become. Something we go back to and say, yes, this is who we are and what we are. And we need to extend this, and we are extending this to each and every person, no matter what. Frederick Douglass, in a speech in Rochester, said on the 4th of July, "Are the great principles of political freedom and of natural justice embodied in that Declaration of Independence extended to us," meaning Black America, meaning slaves. And the truth was, at that particular moment, it was not, but it was on the way. What has happened, though, is that during the time, through spiritual evolution, states have moved to achieve full legal equality for women. He wasn't talking about women back then. For all Americans, whether they're Black, Latino, no matter their environment, no matter their station in life, we have moved in that direction and have evolved in that direction. And yet, equality is so hard to define because, you see, its meaning keeps changing. It keeps growing. It keeps saying more, and it should. Today, we understand, I hope, the distinction between free men versus slaves, man versus woman, property owners versus debtors, and on and on. We all have equal justice under the law, and that's what that was calling for. But evolution continued to move forward, the freedom and liberty of evolution. And eventually this country had a civil war over it. And Abraham Lincoln said, 77 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. All people are created equal. And we fought over that. I wish it had happened differently, but it didn't, and that's history. And today, maybe it feels like chaos to you. Maybe it feels like a dimmer future rather than a brighter future. But I'm kind of an eternal optimist. And I think we are experiencing and starting to experience a brighter future. In Genesis, the first verses, it says, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God was moving over the face of the waters." In other words, there was chaos. There was a void. There was no organization. There was no system. There were no people. And then God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And God saw that light was good, and God separated the light from the darkness. What this is metaphysically implying is that the more light we receive, the more we put light on that which is inequitable, the more we put light on that which is dark, the more we begin to see our shadow side and start to look at ourselves and say, am I participating in that, or am I walking in the light of love and the light of truth? Am I participating in the light, or am I allowing myself to be drawn down by the shadow? I know you're here because you're participating in the light. Franklin Roosevelt said that democracy is chaotic. Democracy is messy. Democracy is not perfect, but is the best system of government in the world. And I happen to believe that. I still hold to that. Because without the democracy we have, we wouldn't be talking about the issues we are today, and people would not be able to rise up and speak out and have demonstrations that say we need change. I celebrate the 4th of July because that's what it's talking about, the opportunity to be free. Democracy, as I said, is evolving. And democracy is always following the call of let freedom ring. I say let freedom ring for all Americans, wannabe Americans, and all of our young Americans. Let freedom ring through the chaos of change, where we create justice for all Americans, where we create opportunity for all Americans. 40% of Americans now believe, and that number may change, and it used to be 60%, that the civil rights movement was kind of over and that everybody had an equal opportunity. And what we've learned, and it takes a while, but what we've learned, certainly as white folks, is that America is still growing and still needs to open up the doors for opportunity. That not everybody in our country has the same opportunity. Not everybody in our country can have the opportunity for an equal education. Not even kindergartens. And so as we hear this, we can understand that we are here to create justice for all Americans. So let freedom ring through the chaos of today so that we create that change. Let freedom ring as we proclaim Paul's message in Galatians. He said, "You, however, brother, were called to freedom. Only do not turn your freedom into an excuse for giving away to your lower natures." There is a metaphysical message in that that's pretty straightforward. What are our lower natures? What's different for each of us? Each of us has been brought up differently. Each of us has experienced life differently. Each of us has our own view of life. And yet, we all have that shadow side, that part within ourselves where we're changing as we bring light into it. We're working on that, and that's good. And it makes a difference in the lives of others and in your own life. Let freedom ring throughout the land as we follow Jesus' message. He said, "As my disciples do what I teach and know that when you know the truth will set you free." But you got to look inside to find the truth. You got to cast light on the inside and let it be a new day for you. And as you do that, you are aware of anything that separates you from other people, that separates you from the ability to care, that separates you from the ability to make a difference. And as you recognize that, you can bring it forth and deny it has any power over you and affirm that you are an agent of change, that you are a catalyst for change, that you are growing in your liberty and allowing others to do the same. You see, on this 4th of July, I believe we are breaking through the shadows of darkness and allowing the truth to set all of America free. All of America free. And so let the truth set us free as we say together, let freedom ring. Can you say that? Let freedom ring. Now, not too loud because we got this virus going on, but let freedom ring. And here's what our board wishes for you. They came up with this the other night. Let love and truth open our hearts. That's who we are. That's what we are. And that's what we will be. Let truth, or love and truth, open our hearts. Thank you very much. And so we prepare for this time of meditation before. So I'd just like to announce, some of you knew John. John Green, big fellow, did a lot of work around here, attracted or had the virus and passed away this weekend. He's a good friend of Tom House's. Some of you guys work with him. Some of the people here work with him. I think he helped on a roof over across the way. He helped on our roof here. He was a wonderful man. We supported him as he became a chef in a special way. And then, after that, he was not able to come to church because he was working, which he said he was sorry, but was good. Okay? So I just wanted you to know that. And for those who knew him, let's take a moment just to hold him and anybody else who is challenged with health in prayer. And so we just affirm that the spirit of John Green, the truth of John Green, lives on. We affirm that he made a difference to others with his gentle nature, with his loving concern, with his willingness to serve. And we give thanks for his service. And for others in our congregation who are having health challenges, we see them as health opportunities, opportunities to heal, opportunities to be strong, opportunities to allow the Christ to grow within, and to allow every cell in their bodies to say yes, yes to being whole. And so we are blessed in this moment. And now I would invite you to prepare yourself for meditation. And allow the vibration of this heart chakra bowl to touch your heart, to open your heart, so that you can feel and be all the love that you are. So in this very moment, this time of silence, we gently close our eyes and settle ourselves in to our chair. We relax by allowing any tension to be released through our back, through our shoulders, through our arms. We relax as we allow our bodies and the cells in our bodies to absorb this time of quietness, this time to be together and yet to be alone. And this morning, as we prepare ourselves for going deeper, we align ourselves with our heart space, knowing that in this space there is the ability to bring in from the universe universal truth, to bring in from the universe creative energy, to bring in from the universe unconditional love. And this morning we have that opportunity to experience the truth, to experience unconditional love, to be universal truth, to be unconditional love. And as we experience that, we allow ourselves to go deeper. And as we go deeper, we find that very special place where you are one with all that is. Where you recognize that because thou art, I am. And because I am, thou art. And so with this in mind, just let the light flood in. Light up your soul. Light up this moment as we sit in the silence. And in this moment, as you feel the beingness within you, as you recognize yourself as spirit, as you hug yourself as spirit, as you see yourself as spirit, you come back to this moment, knowing that you are blessed, being grateful for the blessings and grateful for the opportunities that are now before us. And so now we just gently open our eyes. And as we open our eyes, we recognize the love in this room, the power in this room, the beauty in this room.